Penugolu, a village on the hills. Class 6th, Chapter 5th. We know that Telangana Plateau is a part of Deccan Plateau that is marked by the Eastern Ghats on one side. Eastern Ghats are located on the eastern border of Khammam districts. Where are Eastern Ghats are located? Eastern Ghats are located on the border of Khammam district. Okay, the hill ranges in Telangana are part of Western Ghats. So whatever the hill ranges are there in Telangana, these hill ranges are belongs to the Western Ghats. They consist of the hills of Adilabad, Karimnagar, Rangareddy and Mahabubnagar districts of all districts of Telangana. Identify above regions in the district map of Telangana. These hills further spread to the other states like Chhattisgarh, Andhra Pradesh, and Odisha. So, Western Ghats are not only belongs to Telangana, these Western Ghats hills are also belongs to other states like Chhattisgarh, Andhra Pradesh, and Odisha. Thanks. Most of the people living in the hills belongs to different tribal communities. Means here tribal people like STs. They are Savara. So what are the tribal communities? First one Savara, Kondadora, Gadaba, Gond, Mannedora, Mukhadora and Koya. These are the tribal communities. Different types of tribal communities. These indigenous people have their own unique culture, heritage. They have these tribal community people, they have their own culture and heritage, they have their own practices. Many of these communities continue to depend on collection of the forest produce and hunting for their livelihood. So most of these community people depends on the forest and forest products which are naturally given by the trees, and also hunting the animals, and they survive their life. Their knowledge about the region, the forest and its produce is really vast and deep. However, these communities face many disruptions today that are threatening their way of life. These community people are facing, why these community people are facing the problems? Because nowadays governments are giving the forest areas to cutting the trees for the paper and also to establish the industries. Because of these reasons, these people facing some problems. A Penugolu village in a Vajidu mandal lies on hills that are on the banks of river Godavari. So where the Vajidu mandal lies, it lies on the river bank Godavari. See here, it is the hill range of Vajidu. Also see here the community that lives here, Koyas. Which community people live in Penugolu village? Koya community people living on Penugolu village. So what is mean by Koya? Koya means a good person living on the hills. Okay, they spoke Koya language. So which language they spoke? They have their own language, Koya language. They spoke that language only. And this community is spread out of other parts only, not only in Penugolu in Telangana. These people, these Koya people also we can see on other states, adjacent states of Telangana like Odisha, Chhattisgarh and Andhra Pradesh. Here see the dressing style of Koya people in the picture. And at the same time, many Koyas have migrated away from the hills and now living in Adilabad, Karimnagar, Warangal, and some parts of East Godavari of Andhra Pradesh. They do not anymore speak Koya language but have adopted Telugu language. Before that, they spoke only Koya language, but nowadays they also learned Telugu to speak and to survive their life. Here, see this village. Which village here? Penugolu village is surrounded by hills. Hills in Telugu we call it as Guttalu or Girulu. That have names like Karregutta or Nallagutta, Chhattisgarh in the north, Vankamadi Gutta in the south, Kallukuntala Gutta in the east, and Chinna Kummari Lanka, Pedda Kummari Lanka in the west. These are the boundaries of Penugolu village. See here in this picture, see the Penugolu village and Chhattisgarh. Some of the districts are also given in this picture. See here map of Penugolu village, and river Godavari is flowing adjacent to the Penugolu village, and Vajidu is a mandal of Penugolu village and bordering districts of Chhattisgarh, Maharashtra. Okay, these all are present. Penugolu village is located in Jaishankar districts of New district. Vajidu is situated on the confluence of the stream Nalanda Devi Vagu that flows down from the north and joins the Godavari. So, which here Nalanda Devi Vagu is flowing into the Vajidu and joining in the Godavari river. From Vajidu, we reached Gummadi Doddi village, which is located at the foot of the hills. A path from this village led us up the hills. The path was very steep, narrow, and slippery. So, which here, when if you want to go to the Vajidu village, this path is very steep and narrow and slippery. See here, Vajidu to Penugolu. How many 20 kilometers distance? We also saw the famous Bogata waterfalls near Chikupalli on the way. So in the Telangana, Bogata waterfalls is the highest waterfalls. This waterfalls is near to the Penugolu village. As we climbed the hills, we saw thick forest and occasional big patches of cleared land. See here, this is the Bogata waterfalls and Penugolu village, and see when we climb the hills we can see a huge forest, very greenery forest we can see. These clearances are the fields that lie scattered across the hills. These fields with red soil were on the slopes and not very fertile. In this, we can also saw the red soil. So red soil is not fertile as like black soil. Okay, there were plenty of stones and pebbles in this red soil. We can see plenty of stones, some of small stones and pebbles also we can see, because it is a hill area. That's why we can see that stones and pebbles. After walking on this path for 5 to 6 hours, we reached the Penugolu village, where from Vajidu to Penugolu after 20 kilometers or 6 hours it takes by walk. Okay, we reach the Penugolu village. It is located 20 kilometers away from the Vajidu headquarters. Podu. So what is the Podu? Podu is a one type of cultivation, okay, which we can see only in forest areas. Which people, these community, tribal community people are famous to the Podu agriculture, Podu type of agriculture or Podu type of cultivation. Koya grow crops using distinct technique called Podu. So here we see the what is mean by Podu. Podu is a traditional practice of farming in hill regions. So Podu means it is a traditional practice. They are hundreds of years onwards. They are practicing this Podu agriculture. This is called shifting agriculture, and another name Podu agriculture also called as shifting agriculture or zoom cultivation. It is also practiced by tribal like Kondareddy. This Podu agriculture practiced by Kondareddy tribe also. This practice of shifting cultivation is also done in states like Andhra Pradesh, Chhattisgarh, Arunachal Pradesh, etc. All which these tribal community people, where these tribal community people are living, all these tribal community people are well known for this Podu type of agriculture. Each village has a specified area or a hill that they can use for farming. Within this area, people clear a patch of forest and burnt it. Then they grow crops on these fields for a few years. So first here, what is the Podu type of agriculture means? They will burnt the forest area and they practice some years, very few years. They practice agriculture. They grow the crops in that fields. After that, they leave that area and again they will do other places. See, this is called as a Podu type of agriculture. Here they burn some of the forest area and here they do the agriculture. After few years they will stop doing agriculture in this place. They shift to other place and they burnt other place and they will do agriculture there. Because here they will not use any fertilizers. That is the reason they practice only Podu type of agriculture. After that, they leave that patch of land and allow the forest to grow again. That's only same here. Meanwhile, they move to another site in that area where they clear another patch of forest land to grow crops for a few years. This way, their farms keep shifting every few years and they return to these plots after many years. In the hills, it stops raining around November. In the month of December, the Koyas use their axes to clear patches of forest. Okay, in hill areas we can't see the heavy rainfall, only a scanty rainfall we can see on hill areas. Okay, they allow the logs of wood to lie there and dry on the field for a few months. These are then burnt in April or May just before it rains. So April and May months means here the summer season or summer months they burnt these and they will do agriculture. Before rains they will burn the forest, some area of forest. See here wood logs. In this picture we can see the wood logs. When the rainy season starts, the ground is covered with ashes. With the arrival of rain in June, people drip build seeds with the help of digging sticks. So how they will keep the seeds? They dig with sticks and they keep the seeds in that. This way they sow seeds of many crops together by broadcast method, spreading the seeds on the ground. They do not use plough or hoe, or do they use any fertilizer. Okay, here the in the Podu type of agriculture, these community people doesn't use any plough, any tractors, any like our modern techniques. They doesn't use any modern techniques. They follow the, already I told you that they follow traditional agriculture. So what is the traditional agriculture? Podu agriculture is a traditional agriculture for the tribal community people. See that how they are doing this Podu type of agriculture. They, with the using the small some small sticks, they are digging the soil and they are sowing the seeds in the land where they dig. Okay, here one of the reasons for not using plough on the hill slopes is that this would loosen the soil too much. This would lead to easy run of the topsoil during the rains. This would make the fields fertile. In the topsoil that is most fertile of the field, farmers want the ashes and dead leaves to remain on the land and not get washed away. The main crops of areas are jawar. What are the main crops of the Podu type of agriculture? So they will give importance to the jawar, means in Telugu we call it as jonnalu, maize, మొక్కజొన్న, మొక్కజొన్న కంకులు, in Telugu we call it as tubers, దుంపలు, millets, సామలు, కొర్రలు, all types of millets, alasandalu, these all are called as a millets. Sesame, నువ్వులు, pulses like red gram, green gram, or and vegetables like brinjal, chilies, gongura, etc. These crops they will grow in their Podu agriculture. See here, these are the items: millets, vegetables, and they grow mixed crops without any irrigation. Here, the tribal people will not use any fertilizers. Okay, these are the natural vegetables and natural millets, organic millets, or organic food items. The total produce normally provides them with enough food for about 6 months. Since these fields are close to the forest, they easily attract animals and birds of region. The Koyas build matches to guard their fields until December. The average yield of jowari per acre of Podu field is 250 kilograms. So each family harvested about 600 kilograms of jawar apart from 150 to 250 kilograms of small millets. Earlier, large forest areas were available in the hills, but now the areas available for Podu has decreased to about 1 to 1.5 acres. This has led to reduced availability of food grains for each family. because of the industrialization, because of the government, state and central governments are keeping the restrictions to use the forest areas. At the same time, people, these tribal people, are forced to come back to the same plot of land earlier than before because the forest area has decreased. The rotation cycle has also become smaller, so the soil is not able to recover its fertility as earlier.